This show is brought to you in partnership with SPEDU.
Primetime Life.
Good evening and welcome to a show that continuously brings to you the best of corporate, lifestyle, as well as business and entertainment events. And of course, that is Primetime Life. We now kickstart off our program by joining National Development Bank for the inaugural Small Stock Expo 2020.
Primetime Life.
As the need to ensure food security remains, the interest around farming, particularly that of small stock, continues to heighten. Recently, in a bid to promote a subsector that can open the path to commercial farming of small stock, the National Development Bank, or NDB, in partnership with Kgari Communications, hosted the inaugural NDB Annual Small Stock Expo 2020 at Stockman Farm out in Tlokwe.
Today we get to join National Development Bank for the inaugural Small Stock Expo right here in Tlokwe, Stockman's Choice.
The virtual edition of the inaugural NDB Small Stock Expo 2020 was held under the theme, Smart Farming, Your Key to Food Security. The theme, particularly the concept of small farming, carries the idea of managing farms using information and technologies like robotics, drones, and artificial intelligence to increase the quantity and quality of products while optimizing the human labor required.
This expo marks the beginning of an exciting journey which we believe is going to liberate and transform the small stock subsector. I want to assure you that we are indeed proud to have brought together various experts in the industry to share with you disruptive and transformative smart farming models and management systems, and some of them come from outside the country. You will agree with me that this is timely for us to do this, given that the demand for goat meat and mutton is going up both locally and internationally. This is also timely because we are also advised to eat healthy. And we are also blessed as a nation to have the motivation to venture into this sector coming from the highest office, where we've seen His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi promoting small stock by donating quality breed boars and rams to deserving farmers.
Part of the objective of the Small Stock Expo, which is to promote the growth of small stock farming, is in line with the government's aim to attain food security, create employment, and in the process attain economic diversification.
As you may be aware, His Excellency the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, is on a mission to develop and catalyze the small stock sector such that Botswana can be a small stock hub in the region. Therefore, this expo is in line with his vision as it offers an opportunity for professionals to meet and discuss small stock subsector with the view of charting a way forward for our nation. It is my hope that as you interact through the presentations and panel discussions that will take place today, positive outcomes will be realized such that our small stock sector advances. Director of Ceremonies, let me hasten to thank NDB for the foresight and resourcefulness to organize this expo. I'm inspired by the rich line of speakers and panelists who are going to share their knowledge and insight with us today.
For farmers who long saw the opportunity presented by the small stock, the assistance from agri-banks such as NDB will prove to be a great start not only for them but also for those who wish to venture into small stock farming.
Ke rata hore ke tse sebaka se ke leboge NDB ke leboge botlhe ba ba berekileng le bone gore tsatsile e nne lone tautona wa lehatshe la rona o buleditse letsholo beso a re retse flaga ya small stock farming re tsholeletse go godimo mme ga ka ke a kgona a le esi ke rata gore re le Batswana re tse thuo ya dihutsane thuo ya dikgomo thuo yotlhe e le kgwebo mme ke rona re le Batswana re ka rekang quality breeds ra di tsenya mo masakeng a rona mo ke gone re ka reng ke kgwebo.
We are a farming community in Phikwe, and I really do want to thank you immensely for organizing this event here as an inaugural event, which I plead and hope shall continue to be hosted in this constituency. And we will do everything in our endeavor to support it and to be as extremely supportive of it in the future, whatever your decisions are in regards to it. But I also want to thank you again for choosing a most appropriate theme and delivering a message and a speech which I think spoke very well to the history of small livestock and what it's meant to our people, how it's been perceived, and where you wish to take it moving forward. In particular, when you make reference to smart farming.
As interest around small stock meat, particularly that of goat and mutton, continues to grow, both locally and internationally, this presents a great opportunity for local farmers to invest more into the small stock subsector.
There is an opportunity in the export market for live animals, and as well as meat and breeding materials such as semen. We can export semen to countries that need the genetics from Botswana. That's an opportunity that we can get into. Currently, we have realized some opportunity in sending our meat to the Arab countries as well as China. And in the UAE, we have an opportunity of putting a minimum of 300,000 carcasses in bone. That means you own buteng, own matlalo, thogo, menyatsane, all those studies about doing modi marketing, and then you send the whole carcass as is. And we find the main export markets in the Middle East. In the Middle East, 77% of the exports they get into the Middle East of the whole global markets, and then the rest gets into China. So we've got a great opportunity of really accessing these markets through that.
Today, if you don't have a feedlot, you're not going to survive as far as extensive farming is concerned, because by the time your animal is ready for market, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 months old. If you get them off your market, off your felt at 3 months or 4 months, it means you can carry more ewes. It's just a simple arithmetic sum that makes sense. Then you've got the semi-intensive farming plus a feedlot, which means you've got either your pastures or you got your extensive farming, and then what you do as well is you have your lamb in intensive crawls. So what's happening in South Africa at the moment, they call it intensive farming. It's not intensive farming. We'll get to intensive farming now. When I mean intensive farming is this, what I'm going to show you now. In semi-intensive farming doesn't mean a lamb crawl, where the sheep lamb in there. What they do is a week before they lamb, they come into the crawl, and then a week after they lamb, they're taken out the crawl. There are benefits, but sincerely not as in sheep farming.
Primetime Life. Primetime Life.
Following the official opening of the Expo, there were presentations and panel discussions which were aimed at empowering the attendees with information on modern smart farming models, systems, techniques, which includes genetics. Kickstarting the panel discussion was the topic of intensive small stock production management and practices.
Exporting animals to those countries requires a lot of processes to be in place. So I think at the political level, they've already done their part. but what remains is at the authority level, whereby we are currently running the processes to be able to comply with the requirements of those markets.
First opportunity is let somebody get a licensed abattoir, licensed by our ministry, okay, and start slaughtering those goats and sell it privately. Bypass the supermarket. Go to a butcher shop and say, I'll supply you with goats for the next as many months as you think you can. And then encourage people around you to produce animals for you to slaughter. That's where you start.
The second subject to be unpacked was that of nutrition and feed.
Personally, from a farmer's perspective, I think sometimes we get it wrong. And we get it wrong because maybe we don't know the background or the foundation of what really the importance of nutrition and feed is. And I would like to start with Felicity, since she's someone I've closely worked with when it came to nutrition. Felicity, we have a lot of farmers getting into small stock, and I wouldn't say we're farming traditionally, but we're farming with the lack of knowledge of the importance of nutrition and feed. I'd like you to just touch on the importance of nutrition and feed, especially when you're looking at the small stock sector.
You can have the best genetics in the world, but if you are not getting that nutrition correct, those animals will not be productive. And at the end of the day, whatever you are farming, whether you're farming stud or commercial farming, it's your nutrition, it's your reproduction that is the single most important factor.
The same things that we've also been taught in schools that are important for humans, i.e. your protein, your carbohydrate, your fats, and whatever it is, are equally important in small stock. Now, grass, fortunately for ruminant animals, they have the unique ability that we don't, in that they can take what we think is non-usable and use it to meet almost all their requirements. The grass that is normally green under good soils should have everything in theory.
We have a variety of products that are available to help you if you want to do primary production, if you want to buy a small stock, or you want to set up your farm, you want to develop your farm, or you want to put in equipment or buy machinery. We structure our financial solutions so that we can give you working capital if it's small stock, to buy feed, like they've been talking about it, but also there are other things like salaries and medicines or vaccines.
The Expo finished off with an auction by stockman auctioneers, and the total number of small stock available was 100.
Motona ha re le export ya di small stock meat or chevron. Ba re export thata re exporta le ko mahatsing a pehela bile ya net exporter yone ya chevron. Yone dorna le hasele le tona le kana ga Botswana. Bile gape go na le bokgonde gore Botswana ba nne le di hutsane tse dintsi. Mme bile gape se important go tla go sa highlight gore tautona ga ntsa tsa mama bua. Go na le ha sa bua re na mabotona re tatsa yone hele monate. Seno se se leng gore le batho ba tswang ko mahatseng a sele ba supe gore dipudi tsa Botswana di na le their own unique taste e leng gore e monate thata go isa tsa mahatsha se.
Ke godile ke rata leruo le ha ke ne ke sena leruo nna ke nnile le lona hela ha ke le ithekela nna ke godile ke rata leruo ne ke rata dipudi go go le ne ke sa rua dinku but I can say ke research more ka small stock, and then I fell in love with dinku and specifically white dopa. It's a good animal. Quality iron is very high. The returns they are quite good.
Primetime Life.
We continue with the program and cross over to Selebi-Phikwe to join SPEDU for Citrus Project groundbreaking ceremony.
Primetime Life.
With the country looking to reduce the import bill and ultimately become an export-led economy, government, through its several enterprises and agencies, continue to undertake initiatives that will ensure the realization of the set vision. Recently, Primetime Life joined SPEDU at the official groundbreaking ceremony of the Selebi-Phikwe Citrus Project. The SPEDU region is definitely open for business. Today, we bear witness to the groundbreaking ceremony of the Selebi-Phikwe Citrus Project. This will see 1,000 people getting employment. Hey, hashtag Phikwe is open for business. Besides the fact that the establishment of the Selebi-Phikwe Citrus Project in the SPEDU region speaks to the core of what SPEDU has been set to achieve. The Selebi-Phikwe region, on its own, boasts of highly fertile soils and climatic conditions highly suitable for agriculture, especially horticulture production. The region also allows easy access to markets, making it the preferred investment destination.
I am convinced that the agricultural sector has a huge potential to turn around the fortunes of the SPEDU region and the country at large. Director of Ceremonies, kindly allow me to convey my appreciation to all stakeholders who have been working tirelessly to make this project a success. I wish to recognize the role of some of the key stakeholders, most notably Ministries of Land Management, Water Sanitation, Agricultural Development and Food Security, Mineral Resources, Green Technology and Energy Security in facilitating establishment of this project. The commencement of this project is a testament to the hard work and dedication of all stakeholders, and it is indeed a very commendable effort. My profound gratitude also goes to the investors for their commitment to the project despite the adverse effects occasioned by the pandemic and even some of the challenges and the speed at which we are facilitating. They have remained steadfast, resolute, and confident to invest in our country. And I can assure you that you will be happy that you invested in Botswana.
Citrus production and its entire value chain is a subsector that is viewed to have a tremendous potential for economic diversification and job creation for Botswana.
Potential for citrus production is very high in Botswana, especially in the SPEDU region, all the way up to the northeastern part of the country. It is therefore my hope and wish that similar projects as this one that we are about to witness can be emulated in other areas. As a ministry, we also encourage those landowners who are not able to utilize their land to either lease it out or partner with potential investors to put the land to productive use. This will go a long way in supporting the food self-sustenance. I wish to also indicate that the project that we are here for today is very much in line with our new agricultural policy goal in which food and nutrition security are key.
I wish to acknowledge and pay respect to the founders of this cooperative who acquired massive land way back in the 70s. They demonstrated vision and foresight. We are proud and we benefit from their wisdom. We will be indebted to them. This farm we are here is called Manesi, was used as a dairy farm. It is about 1,728 hectares. We are sitting on 1,500. Another 220 hectares is for use by ourselves. When my team assumed leadership of the roles of this cooperative, we were faced with challenges. All properties were run down. We sat down with the Department for Corporate Development and developed a turnaround strategy to revive the fortunes of the cooperative. We did some audit and found that our properties were in disarray. It was at the same time that SPEDU was given the task to revive the economy of the SPEDU region. Lucky enough, I was one of the founding members in 2008, founding board members of SPEDU. We sat in with SPEDU, we devised strategies for revival. We went through about 50 proposals, long proposals. Some of them are at Talana Farms as we speak. Finally, in May 2018, we met Peter Scholz and his investors. Their proposal was impressive. It lifted up our hopes and aspirations. When they invited us to do due diligence on their farm in South Africa, we got first experience of what the businesses that they intend to bring into this farm. We were enlightened what we saw, and we said this is what we want to bring into our farm.
The establishment of this project came after government took a benchmarking exercise to the mother company, Blyde International South Africa, at Hoedspruit in the Limpopo province. 30% of the project will be owned by a consortium of Botswana investors and Blytheville International South Africa, owned by Dr. Peter Schultz.
President Masisi has a vision of a new agricultural strategy for Botswana, which will ensure that Botswana become independent of agricultural and fruit production from neighboring countries. And this project here at Selebi-Phikwe Citrus fits in like a hand in a glove in your vision. We've already, actually, 2 days ago, it's a month since we've got our EIA. And if you drive around, you've seen the presentation, what have happened, what Altus and the team did in the last month. It is amazing. And so for phase 1, we're planning 800 hectares of citrus. It will be a combination of lemon, grapefruit, Valencias, and premium mandarins. During phase 1, we also do a trial orchard. It's going to be here just outside where the groundbreaking ceremony will take place today. We're going to try early varieties of avocados, mangoes. We've just obtained the right to test early cherry varieties for Botswana. And hopefully, with this new product, interesting things might arise from that orchard. Phase 2 will be another 400 hectare development. Hopefully, out of this trial orchard, we do big commercial plantings in the second phase, which can create a lot of opportunities.
The Citrus Project is in alignment with government strategy to modernize the country's agricultural sector with a view to boost food security and nutrition in Botswana. In this regard, the government of Botswana is more than excited to support the Selebi-Phikwe Citrus Project to ensure its sustainability.
The current annual citrus production in Botswana is estimated at 3,165 metric tons, which is extremely low and negligible compared to what you estimate to produce from your first harvest. 70,000 tons, if I got it right. For instance, production of fruit trees, mainly citrus, is estimated to be around 2.64% of the local demand, while approximately 97% is imported from other countries, and you can guess which country on the main. Between 2015 and 2019, an average of 14,800 tons of citrus fruits, particularly sweet oranges, lemons, mandarins, and grapefruits, were imported at an average cost of 70,926,214 pula. Therefore, such a high import bill for fruits requires us to take the necessary steps that will help us to grow citrus production subsector in Botswana. Not only will we save on that, but we will gain from the excess that we export and gain foreign currency. This project, I am told by, I believe, reliable persons, has an initial investment of about 300 million pula from the investors, which is particularly significant in that it is one of the first major export-oriented private sector-led development consistent with our electoral promises and economic strategy to kick off in rural Botswana. Both India. I am confident that the project will transform the landscape of citrus production in Botswana and contribute to the economic growth of the whole SPEDU region and the country as a whole.
It is indeed a great honor to be part of this historic event. The agriculture sector in Botswana has been identified as one of the sectors with potential to contribute to economic diversification, create employment and generate income for both local and foreign investors. Therefore, this sector remains key in the economic recovery trajectory of Botswana. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to pay special tribute to His Excellency, our President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi, for not only gracing this important occasion, but also championing the resurgence of the agriculture sector in Botswana. His presence today is a testimony of his commitment to drive the transformation agenda. As he's been saying now, that he made promises to Botswana. This transformation agenda that is characterized by an export-led economy, private sector-led economy, knowledge-based led economy, and of course, offsetting import of agriculture products in Botswana.
The Citrus Project, which is expected to create at least 1,000 jobs, will be on a 1,500 hectare site with 1,200 hectares of citrus orchards to be developed between 2020 and 2025 in 2 phases of development.
Primetime Life.
We've come to the part where we have to love and leave you, but before we do that, please be reminded to take all the COVID-19 precautions, and that is sanitizing, wearing your mask all the time, and social distancing. Until we meet again next year, 2021, from me and the rest of the Primetime crew, we wish you happy holidays. Good night.
This show was brought to you in partnership with SPEDU.